self-serve music distribution online basically was started by CD Baby. They were one of the first companies in the space, and so that's why they're still like one of the best known brands. But they were one of the first people to offer that service by like, they would charge you like, say, I'm just making these numbers up. They might have changed over time, but like CD Baby, say they're like, so for $30, we'll distribute your album. You pay us $30 once at the beginning. We'll distribute it, and then we'll take like 7% of the revenue share for after that. So anybody who can pay that can do that. So it's self-serve, and it's awesome because like the amount of people who could distribute, just it got so much easier, and it opened up so much. You don't have to like be on a label or have a distribution deal or something, right? But the thing is, like, now that this has become so popular, like there's so many people out there who are distributing their own music independently. I've heard this number thrown around a lot these days. I don't know who has verified it or how true it is, but people are saying that there's 60,000 new songs distributed to Spotify per day. 60,000 per day.
Wow.
And so the amount of people who are doing this self-serve music distribution thing is just enormous, because like that's not all major label stuff. Those are people like me. So 60,000 per day. So it's become such a hot space. There's all this competition to like distribute music independently and to offer that self-service, because the demand is so high. There's 60,000 of us dropping these tracks that the service is racing to the bottom. It's becoming totally commodified. So the cost to me or to other people of like doing this is dropping and dropping and dropping. Like CD Baby probably won't be able to charge like $30 or $40 for very long, because there are other distributors out there who are offering this at no charge. Now, how do they do that? Well, it's because if the supply is so high, if there's tens of thousands of people like me who are just starting out, what's the needle in the haystack, or what's the diamond in the rough that you could get out of that? Like if you're a major label, if you look at that supply, what you're thinking of is, well, I want to find, if I'm Warner Music, I want to find the one person who is like going to be a superstar out of those any given 10,000. So that's where the business model of self-serve music distribution is going. The cost, the charge that they're going to be charging us to do it is going to go to zero. So it's going to be free for us to distribute the music, but they're going to collect our data and they're going to sell it to the major labels, so that the major labels can see, out of all the tens or hundreds of thousands of people who are distributing music independently, who is performing the best. And those labels are going to have the first look at that information. And so they're going to be able to use that data to decide who they're going to offer their next deals to. So it's like deal flow for them. That's where the business model of commodified self-serve music distribution is going. There's the charging the artist directly is going to go to zero, and the collection of the data and the selling it to the labels so that the labels can sign the best people is going to go up. That's going to be how they make their money. So every music distributor is going to be looking to bring in as many people as possible so that they have the most data to flow it up to the labels the best. That's how like the stock trading the stock trading platforms of today, that's their business model. So like Robinhood is like an app where, all the GameStop stuff notwithstanding, they're an app where like you can buy and sell stocks for free, right? Previously, if you did it through your bank, they would charge you per trade. So like they would charge you directly for it. But then that got commodified, it went to zero, and Robinhood makes money by selling information about which stocks you're buying to the big banks, so that they can decide what moves they're going to make. So it's the same thing.
Exact same thing. Well, if you're going to charge zero for something, you have to make sure that you have the volume to make it valuable, right? And I guess in that sense, a volume of users equals aggregates amounts of data that can be really valuable to bigger companies. So
yeah, because like if the label signs somebody for $1 million, then the distributor could take, like, I'm just making this up too, they could take like $100,000 cut of that signing. And that would be worth more than like that would be like worth 1,000 of us all doing it if they charge us directly, right? So it could work out.
Exactly. Yeah, they might make more from that one star, as opposed to everyone having to pay $30 just to get distributed. So
Yeah.
that's an interesting evolution. I'll be curious to learn more about that sometime and kind of see that in action. But that
Me
also
too.
sounds like the type of thing that is not maybe backroom talk, but it's a fascinating thing to consider. DistroKid is free, correct?
No, they charge annual, so they're kind of on the middle of this sloping down
Oh.
of the race to the bottom. So like, there's like charging you every time you put something out. That's been done. Now there's like DistroKid where it's like one annual fee, put out as much as you like. So you can see how it's getting cheaper and cheaper, right? And then there's some where it literally is like, we're not going to charge you anything, but we'll take 15% commission. So like, that's another step down. And then it'll keep going.